So it's Monday, the 19th of July, and at last we're getting to the point where I can install Margaret's Mandala Mosaic. So in this film, I'm showing you basically the entire mosaic as it is as one complete thing. But what I'm now going to do is using my Stanley knife, cutting up into sections where it's nice and bite size for installation on Wednesday. I've got a friend of Margaret's coming over to collect me, to take me to Oxfordshire, and yeah, I'll be installing it with two of my favourite components, BAL's Max Flex Fibre tile adhesive, which is instant grab, and Mapei's Ultracolour Plus 144 chocolate. What's not to like? So all of this is all part of the last furlong, really. So on Wednesday I'll put a filmette together, which will be soon after this bit, to show you how I'm doing it. All right then, speak to you soon. Bye. So it's Wednesday, the 21st of July, 2021, nearly 2:30 of an afternoon in Kidlington. And as you can see, I'm in the garden belonging to Margaret, and I've just placed the mosaic with its sections onto the table. And here's all the ingredients that I'm going to be using: Max Flex Fibre, and my notch trowel, and my padded thing that I never remember the name of. And this is the wall that I'll be adhering onto. It's approximately 105 centimetres in diameter, so I've marked it in red, and this central bit is where the central mosaic part is going to be. So as you can see, it used to have something like ivy on it, but I did say to our Margaret not to paint the wall until I've finished. So I'm going to put the mosaic up today. It should take me a couple of hours, and then she can paint around it. And it's going to be off centre, so it's slightly to the left, so that she'll be able to see the mosaic at every angle in her gorgeous garden. Speak to you soon. Bye. So I have done nearly all of the parts. There's 3 parts to do now, and as you know, I've been using a white Max Flex Fibre. It's nothing that I've ever used before. I usually use a grey, and it's quite creamy dreamy. It's quite nice. Not used to it, but I think it'll work really well. Well, it has worked really well. So the plan is I'm going to get Margaret to hold this camera, and I will continue talking whilst I'm installing. So get our Margaret to hold that. So what I'm going to do is where's my bits? Oh, there it is. So I'm using my usual rubber kidney, and I am applying it into the section I'm doing next. Now what I've done is I've put a red chalk mark to mark out where the section is. What I do first is apply the tile adhesive liberally using the rubber kidney. to the edge. Okay, and then I'll use my 6mm notch trowel and then very carefully apply it right up to the edge. Now ordinarily in tiling you would use your notch trowel in one direction, and that way when you're actually tiling your mosaic square, say you've got, you know, your what's it called, fiberglass mesh and mosaic, they're usually of the same thickness, so that would avoid any air bubbles. However, because I've got a variety of different art materials on there, from porcelain tiles to glass tiles and mirror and everything in between, I'm using every direction so that it would fit in. And as you can see, it does fit. So just putting that there, and then I'll use my trusty paddy thing, which I never remember the name of, and very carefully ease it into place. Now you might find that some of your fiberglass mesh strands are poking out, but you're not to worry about that, because when it's absolutely dry it's rock solid, and that's when you can trim it away. Otherwise, if you do it now whilst it's still wet, it'll be a right mess and you'll get tile adhesive everywhere, and you won't be very happy for doing that. So with the pad thing, you're having even pressure all over the mosaic, so nothing's poking down. And that's all there is to it on a hot, sweaty day. Okay, see you soon. Bye. So it's just turned 4 o'clock. I finished this mosaic about 15-20 minutes ago, so I've just been cleaning up, cleaning up all the brushes and, grouty stuff. So here's what the mosaic looks like so far, and everything's aligned, everything's as it should be. It's always a stress really when you're cutting it up into small pieces instead of popping it all in one go, but of course it would slide down if I did it in one go, because as we know this is 105 centimeters in diameter, so that was never going to be a plan. But the instant grab adhesive that I used, the BAL Max Flex Fibre in white, was really good. Creamier than the grey one, that's for sure, but it's got quite a lot of wriggle room to it. What I've done is the first clean, and you can see the oozy bits in and out of it, but it won't take long to clean up all these bits and bobs anyway, because tile adhesive, as opposed to grout, is very forgiving. So I'm going to leave it for an hour or two, probably 2, and then give it a final clean with some warm washing up liquid. Warm water and washing up liquid, not warm washing up liquid. Okay, so speak to you soon. So it's Thursday, the 22nd of July, 2021. Nearly 9 AM in the morning. 7 AM I decided to come downstairs and give this a thorough washing down. Look at how that gold mirror is glistening gorgeously. So it's now time, after I've washed it all down, cleaned it all up, got all the detail there. It's nicely cleaned up now. It's now time to grab this mosaic, and I'm hoping it will take about 2 hours, hopefully a little bit less. With this kind of weather, it's about, what's it, 22 degrees at the moment. I'm sure it feels hotter. It feels more like nearly 30, but there you go. There's a bit of a breeze, but I'm going to be using my Mapei Ultracolour Plus chocolate brown. Never a frown with chocolate brown. See you soon. Bye. So I'm now on to my second batch of grout. I've got my usual cup that I use, and I fill that up with grout and add water to it so it's of a creamy consistency. So here's the grout here. The reason why I've made it creamier than I usually do is because it is quite warm out here, and this batch of grout has a 30-minute pot life. So to be honest, it's not going to take me 30 minutes to do a section of this, but I'm going to apply it onto the wall now. And I'm going to get our Margaret to film me. Okay, so Margaret's our camera woman. So I'm just going to apply it on. And I'm using my trusty rubber kidney. A rubber kidney is purchased at any good ceramic shop for your pottery. And why I like using a rubber kidney is that it doesn't scratch your mosaic, and it's flexible because it's a flexible rubber, and they last 4 years. I don't know how many years I've had this one, but I've got quite a selection of them, all very interesting, not. And I've got a nice little cover at the bottom there because as it's creamier than normal, and because I'm a messy pup, I thought I would just cover the floor because it's not my floor. Right, so I'm just showing you this bit now. So I'm pushing in the grout into the crevices, and really the grout is only used as a finishing touch. It's not doing any work as such, it just covers all the gaps, and that way you've got a finished look. Even though it's external grout, it's not really doing anything, like I say, other than infilling. I've got many a mosaic in my garden where I haven't grouted yet, but it's fine. It's doing all the work, the tile adhesive. Okay, I'll carry this on. Speak to you soon. So here we are. Mosaic has been completed, grouted, cleaned, cleaned and cleaned again. So it's looking extremely sparkly, tidied up. Now that the grout has been put in place, the whole mosaic pops, pop, pop, pop. So at this stage, we wait for it to dry. I'm hoping the chocolate remains chocolate-esqueness, and yeah, how gorgeous is this? I'm really pleased with this. And the plan is where the ivy is, where the ivy was, it's going to be painted. But there are other plans afoot. Now, after this commission, I've been commissioned by Kidlington Methodist Church, thankfully to our Margaret as well, who's instigated this. And I'm going to do a a 1 metre by 2 metre mosaic, a vertical one, in their building, so on the outside of their building. So that is coming soon, so there'll be filmettes aplenty about that. So this is Caroline Jerrywalla, Mango Mosaics. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and YouTube, of course, where this film will be. I'm going to now have a little chat with our Margaret about this. Okay friends, I have just finished the Mandala Mosaic, and I thought I'd ask our Margaret what inspired her to ask me to create this mosaic. So tell me, Margaret, and everybody else, how did it all start for you?
I think first of all, finding Caroline after 25 years via a website, seeing the work she did, and thinking I would like something like that, and then going on my Indian experience of having lived in India for 23 years when my husband and I were out as missionaries, and seeing that mandalas, and I didn't know the correct pronunciation until Caroline told me, they were mandalas of things that we saw in India. I thought, yes, that's the design that we could go for. So that's how it began.
And it's beautiful because the colours that you chose from, I mean, you sent me a couple of designs and they were very highly coloured, and it was just very fortunate that I could find something that would replicate the inspiration that you had, and the tiles I found and all the gold and the sparkliness, and it was just perfect. So it's now up to you. How do you think we can progress further on this wall? Because I don't know if everybody can see this, but this wall has got a potential here of going further. So we're not going to keep this, you know, a little bit of, what was it now, ivy up on the wall. We're going to be painting it. So there's a plan, isn't there?
Well, Caroline is suggesting that, yes, because there's a wall opposite that is exactly the same as this one. So I thought we would just repaint both of them because they both need redoing. Caroline suggests we pick up a strong colour from here to do, and then what about some little mandalas or some mirrors, or the suggestions are endless really. So I think she started me on a path of creating something not quite like her garden, but where you've got a whole section of mosaics. Yeah, so watch this space. There may over the years be more to add.
Excellent, excellent. And now that you see it in your garden, remember that photocopy that you gave me. I mean, how do you feel about it now that it's all been washed off and gleaming?
Well, it's quite different from what I just found something on a website, just as an example. This is the sort of pattern I like, but I didn't really know. It's left to Caroline's artistic talents to do it, but the colours are beautiful. The friend who's just called for coffee can't get over the gold. It's catching the sun, it's mirroring the wall opposite. Yeah, it's just wonderful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for asking me to do this. I've absolutely enjoyed it, and I wish I had a wall to make my own mandala. Oh well, never mind. All right, my lovely. Thank you very much, everyone. See you soon. Bye.